So taking literally every second, that's what this looks like. If you're like, how do you do all these things? And you're a parent, and you're a teacher, and you're in grad school. I never feel great about anything that I have to turn in, if I'm being totally honest. Like, I'm always apprehensive about it. There's always something that could be better. Hello, hi, welcome back. We are down to the last 2 days for me to finish and submit my thesis. So come along with me as I edit. Last night, if you watched the previous vlog, I finished my full draft, chapters 1 through 5, plus a little small extra conclusion. So today and tomorrow, my thesis is due by tomorrow night. I am editing. I'm really looking for places where I can say things more clearly or concisely. And now it's time to teach. All right, class is taught, and now I am grading the second half of an assignment that I graded the first half of this morning before I started working. So I'm going to finish that real quick, and then I'm going to edit until my husband gets home with the little one. The big ones are upstairs, and I'm about to make them some pasta, waiting on the water to boil. So taking literally every second, that's what this looks like. If you're like, how do you do all these things? And you're a parent, and you're a teacher, and you're in grad school, and you're doing this, and you're doing that. It's because every spare second that I have that I could use doing hobbies, like watching YouTube on my phone, scrolling, reading books for fun, watching TV, napping, staring endlessly into space. I'm doing something. There's no other way around it. That's what it is. Yay, it's fun. That's why if you want to do this and you are like someone who has multiple responsibilities in multiple areas that you like have to do, like I have to have an income, got to finish this degree, got to be a integral, active part of my family. That's what it looks like. Anyway, let's get this grading finished and then editing, and I have just over 24 hours to finish these edits and get this sent off. I'm excited for that to be off my plate. Although I have some other writing that I need to fill that gap in with, but I am going to take a couple days. Hello, good morning. It is Wednesday, the 29th, which means it's deadline day. So, last night I ended up getting so tired that I just fell asleep. And that was that. So I did not finish all of my edits last night. So my goal today, I did make a ton of edits, and I was able to cut a couple pages. I think I said that at some point yesterday on here. But I would really love to find a way to cut a couple more. So when you think about like reading a monograph, history, you're not running into tons of block quotes, but when you're producing something like for this, like it's still so early that you end up putting in a lot of these block quotes because your vision's not clear and you really just need to parse out what actually needs to be there and what can we summarize and keep the narrative moving with. We don't want it constantly stopping to dig into these block quotes unless they are really, really relevant in totality to the argument. So what I do through the editing process or the writing process is I'll add something in as a block quote when I'm writing like that first draft, knowing that for the most part, I'm going to go back and shorten those. And so I got through a few of those yesterday. I didn't have a ton anyway, but you know, if you think about the amount of space that those take up, because they're not only blocked, it's also tabbed over in the entirety. So taking care of those, weaving those into the narrative, and then just going into the conclusion of each section, each chapter, and tightening those up so they feel really like this is the concluding point, this is what you need to know, and transitioning on. So I was able to cut 2 pages by going through that, which is good. But I'm still a little bit beyond where I would like to be. And the chapter that I cut from, it was already my shortest chapter. The chapter that I really, really need to make cuts to if I'm going to shave off length is the historiography chapter. But I did a pretty elaborate historiography and I really like it how it is. And I didn't get feedback that I needed to cut it. That got great feedback. I didn't get feedback to cut anything. This is just something personal I'm doing to make sure that I'm sending something polished and intentional. Cannot believe it's already 11:30. So I've been sitting here for about 2 hours now, and I managed to cut another page by making marginal edits throughout the first chapter, which is the longest of all of mine. That's the historiography piece that I was talking about. I'm leaving one alone. I've cut as much as I can from 2. I went down and I edited and wrote the conclusion, but although I changed so much, I also added in like citation points and things like that, so I didn't lose any pages there. I like it. Didn't lose any pages. And so now I have cut quite a bit off the word count though. Like not even, I think I've cut like 350 words, give or take. I'm not highlighting and looking at it outside of the footnotes right now. But just generally, it's gone down by about 350 since I started. What I really think I'm going to do is eat a snack, like a rice cake, peanut butter, do my workout, take a shower, come back and sit down and work for... By that point, I'll probably only have a solid hour. So just do another hour of just cut. Then I have to go do school pickup. I have to run an errand with the big kid. My husband is going to bring home the little one today, which means when I get back with them, I am going to transition this. At that point, it's just going to be the length that it is. I'm technically, again, within the word count. It's just... I have hundreds of footnotes and I have some images and I have some quotes that lead off the chapter. So I'm within the word count. I'm well within the word count, but I like cleanness and conciseness. Tonight, when everybody goes to bed, I will sit down and make those final cleanups and then submit. I think this is going to be the end of the editing vlog because I think I'm done. Through the editing process, I was able to cut, give or take, about 5 pages. My word count got cut by about 450 words total, and I'm feeling okay about it. I think it's in a good place to submit. If I actually look at the word count, we had a 12 to 18,000 word count window, which the average within that space, I guess, is about 50 pages. So I'm quite far beyond that. But if I look at the word count of the text, I'm hoping it's closer to like 15,000. That would make me feel good because it would be kind of right in the middle of what we were encouraged to do. So I'm hoping this is okay. I tried so hard to delete just everything. If you highlight the text, it's 15,447. So that excludes all of my footnotes. That means that I have 2,000 words of just footnotes and references in there. Anyway, I never feel great about anything that I have to turn in, if I'm being totally honest. Like, I'm always apprehensive about it because I know from going through rounds of editing with a dissertation that there's always something that could be better. Like, it's just always there. I was even thinking today as I was editing, I was like, wow, I could have did these chapters thematically instead of going chronologically. And then I was like, no, it makes sense chronologically. I did it this way for a reason. There was a purpose behind it. It wasn't just willy-nilly. So yeah, I think I'm going to turn this in.